You know that feeling when you spend a couple days, maybe even a couple weeks watching a new show and it's just perfect. The storytelling, the pacing, the characters, the music, everything just culminates into this nice, flavorful dish until you take that first bite and you realize this shit ass. Let's start with something I'm sure most of you guys are pretty familiar with, and that's Akame got killed. Man, did you have to kill everybody? Zesty twin, dead. Possible love interest, dead. Real love interest, dead. It got to the point where I was surprised when a character finally escaped death, just for him to die in the next episode. And yes, I am aware that doesn't really have anything to do with the ending, but come on, bro. They ain't have to kill Tatsumi. I'm thinking, hey man, he done went through all this hardship, all this pain, all this suffering. He done lost friends. He done lost loved ones. I just know he finna survive this, crack ass death, and get the whole village right. Who's with me? T-A-T, that's U-M-I. My man. T-A-T, that's U-M-I. Go for it. T-A-T, that's U-M-I.
12 seconds later.
I'm sorry. Yes, I broke my promise.
You gave me your word! You gave me your word! That's me. That's me.
Damn, man. They did him bad. Next up, we got White Album 2. Now I'm knowing some of y'all probably not familiar with this one, but don't even worry, twin. I got you. Basically, the story is set in high school with our main characters, Haruki, Setsuna, and Toma, who happen to be the last members of the music club. They also kinda in a love triangle. You see, Setsuna likes Haruki, and Toma, she also likes Haruki. Now Haruki, typical dude, he likes them both. So as the story progresses, he's dating Setsuna, but he low-key been cheating with Toma. This all reaches a boiling point when Toma is scheduled to catch her flight to Vienna because she's actually going to study abroad. She basically pops up on Haruki to say goodbye, and they somehow end up in his apartment. Now I can't say too much, I'm trying to eat this month, but they do what they do. Toma leaves early the next morning to catch her flight, and soon after, Setsuna arrives to convince Haruki to go to the airport with her so they can say goodbye to their best friend. He tells her the full truth on the way there, and she actually apologizes to him, saying that she knew how they felt all along but still decided to date him. And then, upon arriving at the airport, Toma and Haruki just embrace each other as she apologizes to Setsuna, who just sits there and watches them. What I hate most about this ending is how she stays there with him as the plane departs. He's telling her to leave, but she insists on staying with him. Come on, you gotta be the dumbest hoe of all time.
02君と一つになってゆく02が俺で
ダーリンが僕だ。
Boo, this shit sucks. This may be one of the most infamous bad endings ever. Not only does it shit all over the world building, but upon the slightest bit of scrutiny, the story makes no sense. It's almost as if everything after episode 15 was written by a completely different person. The whole story they built up, the mystery of the Cloxosaurs, that nice subtle world building I love so much, cooked. It all started with this teen drama full of side characters. Like, come on, bro. We do not care about these losers. Then the doctor's backstory, then the history of the Cloxosaurs and Verm. It's really impressive to mess up this bad. But, you guys ever heard of Samurai Flamenco? It's about this guy who decides to be a hero on some vigilante shit. This actually has nothing to do with the ending at all. I just remember around episode 7 or 8, they introduced some villains with actual powers, and I just lost all my interest, bro. If you know that show, please comment. I can't be imagining this. Being known as the human metronome for his unrivaled talents with the piano, Kosei Arima is nothing short of a prodigy. However, it's not as good as it may sound. His mother, who also serves as the piano instructor, is abusive to say the very least. She subjects Arima to extreme and rigorous training until his playing is flawless. Hence the nickname. You could say the situation turned him resentful, and things finally reached a turning point when Arima just couldn't take the abuse anymore.
Cause I don't care anymore. Now I just wish you were dead.
Yikes. Unfortunately, that would be the last thing he ever said to his mother, and this undoubtedly haunted him. Seemingly subsequent to his mother's death, Arima lost his ability to hear his notes, rendering him practically unable to play the piano. I personally find this somewhat interesting. Not only did his mother's death separate the two of them, it also separated Arima from the thing that brought her closest to him. Or depending on how you look at it, it's as if he's being separated from his mother's weapon of abuse. The story follows Arima as he attempts to cope with this trauma, while a supposedly chance encounter reawakens his passion for piano. Your Lie in April is a story about taking the hardships and inherent suffering of life and shouldering that burden. The story uses these complex and well-developed characters to push the narrative as the viewer experiences their growth firsthand. This deep, emotional story is accompanied by lush, vibrant colors and beautiful art. To keep it real with you, this shit look good. But at this point, you probably thinking, twin, why are you glazing this show when this video is clearly the worst endings in anime? Well, Slime, to be honest, I'm a bit butthurt. I remember being like 10 or 11 watching this anime, and I was so broken by the ending. For a while, even with my age perspective, I still rolled my eyes, avoiding this show at all costs. And what perhaps makes me more upset is the fact that this wasn't the result of poor writing decisions or unfulfilled character arcs. By all measures, Your Lie in April has a pretty strong ending, that's undeniable, but it just doesn't sit right with me, man. So yes, it's bad because I don't like it and it makes me sad. Deal with it. Y'all ever heard of a little show called Vampire Night? Either you confused right now or I just unlocked the memory. Basically, we got a school, and during the day, the regular students, they attend and they do what they do. Then, when the night falls, of course, we got the vampire students. Now, unfortunately, I can't dive into deep detail because it would take way too much explaining. And even though I do hate this ending, I low-key only added this to see how many of you guys actually watched it. For me, Vampire Night is kind of like a fever dream. I don't know, it's a bit hard to explain. But if you actually watched it, please bro, comment, tell me how you felt about the ending, cause me, I ain't really like it. Next up, we got Soul Eater. Now y'all already know, this show got so much swag. Crazy nice art style, dope power system, it had it all, man. Too bad the ending sucks. Everything I just praised Your Lie in April for, Soul Eater failed at terribly. So many unresolved internal conflicts, unfinished character arcs, and the ending, while decent in concept, the Kishin being defeated by Courage as a front to his madness, the execution was just terrible. Like, come on, man. This is your sign. If you like Soul Eater and you haven't experienced the manga's ending, please give it a shot, man. I'm begging you. The anime and manga divulge around chapter 35, go pick it up. Without a doubt, Charlotte is one of the most rushed endings I've ever seen in anime. There's of course flaws leading up to the actual ending, but for now, let's stay on track. To give you a little synopsis, this right here is you, our MC. He has the ability to hop into other people's bodies for a short period of time. He thinks he's special at first, but he's soon to discover that he's far from the only individual with a special ability. There's a whole school full of students just like him. You joins the student council to assist them in finding and subduing all students with these abilities. The powers are something like adolescent diseases. It disappears as you age, so only children actually have access to these. Suffice to say, there's plenty of organizations that would love to capture and experiment on these kids. So the team's real goal is to get these students before they do. Now, let me explain why this ending is trash. This right here is Yu's older brother. He runs the whole save the kids operation, and his ability is literally time travel. However, the more he uses it, the more his vision deteriorates, and therefore he can't use the ability. We previously thought Yu's power was to swap bodies, but it's not just that. Anybody he swaps bodies with, he actually steals their ability. Which, okay, there's no actual problem with that. It's more about how he proceeds to use the ability. He first decides to steal his brother's time travel, which is pretty smart, you know. He can't use it, so go ahead and take it from him. However, that smart decision and this amazing ability are all put to waste because Yu gets clapped by a middle schooler. Then, after losing control and being the very cause of his ally's death, Yu decides to travel the entire world and take every ability in order to create peace. And this is where shit hit the fan. Yu travels the entire world in one episode, taking every single ability. He even becomes an edgelord. Now, there is nothing in Charlotte more infuriating than this scene right here. Yu steals this girl's ability, which is the ability of healing. He thinks about healing his eye, which, by the way, would restore his time travel abilities, just saying, but apparently that's too easy. To be clear, people have died over Yu and his stupidity. He gets the opportunity to heal his eye and go fix all the mistakes, or more importantly, save all the lives, and he just denies it like he's a monk or some shit. Yu somehow takes every ability except for one within the first 17 minutes of the episode. Then, as he's being attacked by this random dude with a crossbow because he kind of has a bounty on his head now, this girl saves him, revealing that she has the final power, the power of courage. Oh yeah, the power of courage. I'm so tired of anime ending with this weak ass conclusion. We get it, buddy. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Maybe like the video, maybe subscribe, man. Oh, by the way, you made it this far? Go ahead and comment my slime. I reply to those. I'm gonna fuck with y'all, boy.
I ain't take my perk yet, shit feel like dying. You ain't get to work yet, you deserve to die then. All that time you fucking wasting, all these niggas steady hating